Welcome to Grandview University College Week Live. My name is Lou Yasinich, head softball coach here at Grandview University. With me today is Coach Nick Mitchell, wrestling coach, and today's focus for our hour will be on Grandview athletics. And with that, Coach Mitchell is our first guest today. We will also have Jerry Monner, our head cross-country and track coach, Austin Flynn, our football offensive coordinator, and Lou Yasinich, head baseball coach. We're going to start with Coach Mitchell. Coach, in an informal way, what do you look for in a prospective student athlete to join your program?
Really just kind of an overall persona, as far as I like a kid who obviously he's got a good background socially. We do a lot of research on our recruits, making sure that we'll talk to parents, we'll talk to coaches, and talk to other people that know them. Just making sure that they're the type of kid that's going to stay out of trouble when they get here, and just work ethic. We like to hear a lot about how much work they like to put in the off season. What just as far as wrestling in the off season goes, and then we look at everything. We look at grades, and we're really trying to find the right fit. And I know when people are looking to choose a school, a big part of that is for them to find the right fit, and that's the same thing for us. We need to find the right fit too, and so it goes both ways. We need to find people that are going to come in, work hard, do the right things, live the right kind of lifestyle, and then we know that they have a good chance to be successful here at Grandview.
Great. Another question I have for you: what does your schedule look like? And that can be the entire season, the entire preseason. What do you expect, and how do you set that up?
Yeah, really for us, the season itself only goes from, we start official practice in October, and then our national tournaments in the first week of March, but it's really a year-round deal for us. Right when school starts, we start our preseason workouts. Once we get into October, we'll take a week off, just to give guys kind of a chance to recover and get ready for official practice, and that's where we are right now. We're into official practice, and then November hits, and that's when we start our competition schedule, and when we compete from November all the way, like I said, to the first or second week of March is when our national tournament is. And then we'll usually take a week, sometimes 2 weeks off, and then we get into off-season wrestling. And we're probably one of the only small schools that does compete in the off-season, and we wrestle freestyle tournaments, and really our best guys, their goal is to compete internationally and compete at a world or Olympic stage eventually. So I think that's something that probably sets us apart from a lot of the other small schools. Most of the Division I programs, the bigger schools do that, but it's something that we do too, and we expect most of our guys to do that in the off season to continue to improve and just set the bar high, set the goals high in the off season.
Well, and they obviously are two-time national champions. Congratulations on that as well. And that's all the work, certainly all the work that you put in.
Yep.
So why don't you introduce the two guys you have with you, and then ask them questions that you would want to.
Okay, we'll do. I got two guys here. This is Jimmy Schuessler. Jimmy is a junior here this year. Was a national champion for us at 165 last year, and is starting off this season at 174. And then I have Isaiah Tatum, and Isaiah is a senior this year. He was a national runner-up for us last year at 149, and is wrestling at 149 again this year. So Isaiah is from Illinois, and he was a transfer student, came from North Iowa Area Community College, and Jimmy is from Iowa and came in as a freshman, so kind of a different flavor here. So
I can remember seeing Isaiah, unfortunately, right after the national tournament. The next day, he was in wrestling again.
Yeah.
Last March.
Yep, that's right.
And he's taking one more step.
That's right. Yeah, he's ranked first in the nation right now, so hopefully, well, he knows rankings don't mean anything, so at the end of the year, if he's first, then we did our job. So,
very good.
But a couple questions here for these guys, and we'll just let them start off. You guys tell us why you chose Grandview.
I guess I chose Grandview probably first and foremost for the wrestling, but I like the smaller class sizes. I like the small campus. It was something that I knew I could learn in, and I just thought I'd do better with the small class sizes. I wanted to wrestle. I didn't know where for sure, and Grandview was closer to home. You got that small college atmosphere in the big city, and that was nice also, but definitely the small classroom, the small campus, and then the wrestling was a big part of it.
I chose Grandview strictly just because I met Nick Mitchell and Paul Reedy, and just they came to watch me wrestle when I was at NIAC. Well, I don't think they were there for me specifically, but they just seen me. They seen that I had talent, and I was just really just wide open. Really just didn't have a set style, and just Nick, he just seemed like he was just interested in me, and then I just put my faith in him, and I'm here.
All right,
Great.
Tell us. Obviously, you guys deal a lot, with your class schedule. Some of you guys work. Talking about your practice schedule. Maybe tell us a little bit about what a typical day is like, and just kind of in general, like how you manage your time and dealing with all the work that goes in and the time that goes into being a student and an athlete.
Typical day for me, get up and make breakfast, obviously. Usually, and I like to plan the night before too, and kind of set it all out there what I need to do the next day. I'll get up, I'll make breakfast. I have class in the morning. Usually, I'll go to class, and then somewhere in between there, usually go get a drill in or a lift in with a coach or another wrestler, and then eat lunch. Obviously, a little downtime before practice is nice. I'll either go to the library or maybe get a little 20-minute nap in, or something of that sort. And then practice obviously is usually around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Go to practice, come home, make dinner, head to the library if I need to, and catch up on schoolwork. And then that's usually when school's in session. That's my typical day. And then during the summer, obviously, I'm working full time, and then we have workouts Tuesdays and Thursdays around 6 o'clock for those guys that work a little later, and we'll get in there and get in the room and scrap and work on some stuff. And then dinner, obviously, after that. That's a pretty typical day for me.
Typical day for me, I wake up, I say my prayers, obviously keep from injury free. I feel like praying is the best way to stay injury free.
Nice.
And then I normally come get a workout in, eat lunch, then go to class. The way I set my schedule up, I set my schedule so I can work out in the midday before practice. I'll come get another drill in, go to practice, go home, do my homework, eat dinner, talk with my roommates, and then come back at night around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, get like a little 45-minute hour cardio session in just to feel good and get the edge on everybody else. That's pretty much my day.
All right. What would you say, like when you just think about Grandview as a whole, what are some things that stick out to you as things that are maybe the best part of your experience at Grandview, or some of your favorite things?
I think my favorite things is just the atmosphere, the athletic atmosphere at that. Like, I never really was at a school where every sport was good, let alone my team. And just to be on a team where we're national champs 2 years in a row since I got here. Coach Mitchell told me when I got here, when I was recruiting, he said, if you want to be on a team that's going to win a national title, he said that. He did say that. And I came here and it happened, and then you get all the success from all the other sports. I didn't realize how many conference titles we won. The football team this year being 7-0, going in ranked number 3. The soccer team ranked number 2. It's just, I just feel like we're like the best school in the NAIA personally.
I'd have to agree with that. The athletics is a huge part of my favorite things here at Grandview. Tatum basically touched on all of it, but just I've had some pretty memorable moments with the wrestling team. Obviously, my freshman year at National Duels, when we won in the semifinals, the last match of the duel, and then again last year in the finals against the same team, Southern Oregon, we won. Our heavyweight Eric Thompson pinned the kid, and we ended up winning by 2 points. And then even nationals last year in March at the traditional tournament, it was down to the wire, and we didn't really know who was going to win, and we ended up on top, and that was probably the most memorable thing since being at Grandview. It's a pretty special deal.
Well, I compare our program to yours. I'm dealing with females, and we like to work hard, and Coach Mitchell comes in and talks to our players. I don't know if you guys know that or not. He comes in and talks to our players, and I like to set the bar as well that we're the hardest working team on campus, except for you guys. There is no doubt you guys outwork everybody else on this campus, and I know our coaches set the bar high for all of our athletes. If you want to come and participate in a college sport, and you want to just show up and play, this is not the place for you to come. You can hear these guys talk about their day-to-day activities, their lifestyles. One of the biggest things that I have learned, and many other coaches have learned in the hallway, is what Coach Mitchell preaches to his players. And coach the championship lifestyle. So would you expand on that, please?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. And championship lifestyle is really all about the idea of trying to be great at every single aspect of your life. So it means socially trying to be great.
They're nodding their heads back here
they
too.
know,
They know.
If you're socially trying to be great, trying to making good decisions about who you hang out with, how you spend your time, academically, knowing that if a B is the best you can get in a class, then you should get a B. If an A is the best you can get, you should get an A. I mean, I don't care what the grade is, but making the effort to dominate the class like you would on the wrestling mat. So it's really about trying to be great, and same thing in your relationships with your family, girlfriends, someday, and hopefully that carries on to everything else that you do in your life. And that means when you decide to go out and get a job, or you become a dad someday, or you become a husband, trying to be the best at those things. Like I'm trying to be the best husband in the nation right now. I'm trying to win a national title. And my wife probably thinks I'm failing right now, but I'm working at it. I'm trying hard. So it's all about that, But it's having that idea that you can be great at everything you do, and realizing that mindset will carry over into your athletics, whether you're a wrestler or not. If you become somebody who tries to be great at everything they do, it's naturally going to become who you are when you're out on the wrestling mat, and vice versa. If you let yourself off the hook, if you're okay with being mediocre, okay with being average, that just becomes who you are, and then that carries over into your sport. So I can get off on a tangent on that a little bit, talk about it for a long time, but it's really important to me, and it's a huge part of our program. And I think most of the athletics here, that's how they think. I think most of us coaches here really think the same and have kind of like minds. So it's a huge part of it.
Well, I think it made a difference with our team. Your influence in the talk that you gave them. I'll credit to you of us being able to get to the national tournament last spring.
I don't know about
I'm going to take that. I'm going to give you that credit. And these guys set the bar extremely high. And we see these guys in the hallway on their way to their workouts, on the walk into class, and it is. I think as coaches, it's fun to see those athletes from other sports, not in their sport, seeing them as people, and that's really exciting for us as coaches.
Well, I think too, like these guys touched on how successful our full athletic program is here, and I think there's a lot that goes into that. And I've been at other places, and I think one thing here is the coaching staff. Like the coaches really get along here, and like we really truly want each other to be successful. I don't think it's like that everywhere. I think sometimes people want to be like the top dog, and yeah, we won a national title, but I'm really hoping football and soccer, who legitimately have a chance to win a title this fall, I hope they both win it. We don't want to be the only team that won it. I want to share that, have that feeling with everybody else. And I think that the other part with that is, like you're saying, you see athletes putting in extra time, you see them doing the work. You don't want to be the team that's not doing it. So you don't want to be the one team on campus that's not winning the conference title or not competing for a national title. So as a coach, you have to do more, and as the athletes, if you're going to keep up with what everyone else is doing, you better get in there and put the work in. So I think it rubs off success, really breeds success, and you see it a lot here. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Can you guys speak to that?
Yeah, I just think the whole atmosphere. I mean, I've talked to football players, I see them in class. I've talked to soccer players, I see them in class, and I don't think it's really any coincidence that the teams are all kind of they're at the top of their sport here at Grandview, and it's not a coincidence. Everyone feeds off each other. It's kind of contagious atmosphere here at Grandview, and I love it. It's awesome. I can't get enough of it.
It was a lot of fun after we made it to the national tournament. We didn't win the title, but coming in the hallway, we're in the coach's hallway. Mm-hmm. Wow, we're one of those teams that got to the national tournament, and like I said, we haven't gotten to your guys' level, but it's competition with us too. It really is. Yeah. And like I said before, if you want to come here and be a student athlete and only show up, you're not going to be here very long. Mm-hmm. We definitely have high expectations for our student athletes. Isaiah, anything you want to add to that?
Well, it's like I think the best thing about the way that our program and other programs are ran around here is that even talking to the basketball coaches, Coach Ironson and stuff, he always asks me like, well, how's my mindset so strong? And besides giving credit to God, I give credit to Coach Mitchell because I didn't have the same mindset when I first got here. And then I love it when Coach Mitchell tells us that if you just come to practice, that's just enough to stay on the team. And what that means to me is that people think just showing up to practice is just going to be okay and you're going to be able to skate by. But when you have 50, 60 other guys right there competing and wanting to be the best, who's going to really outwork each other? Who's going to be the best person on the team? Who is going to be the hardest worker? And last year, I got the most dedicated award of the team last year, and I'm shooting for 2 years in a row.
Right.
I couldn't win 2 titles, so I can hopefully get the most dedicated 2 years in a row. And it's just honestly like I see Jimmy in here working out. If I see Jimmy working out, then I make sure I get another workout. Or I see a teammate working out late at night, I work out 10 minutes longer than they did. It's just that little much can just give you that little bit, and I think that's what Coach Mitchell he really wants out of like us, and he really wants us to be accountable for ourselves. It's like when a coach tells you to do something, it's easy. But when you want it for yourself, that's when you really get better and make gains.
Championship lifestyle.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Championship lifestyle. Very good. Well, Coach, anything you want to add before we go to break? And then after that, we'll bring in Coach Monner.
I think that, that we've been talking about the success athletically, but obviously academics has been a big part of it. And we talked about that championship lifestyle. I know our guys the last 2 years have been 4th in the nation in academics, and that's a big part to it. And it's all around. We have great support, academic support here, and if you take advantage of the resources here, I mean, you have no chance other than to be successful if you just do your job. Just show up, do your work, and you will be successful there. There's no question.
Yeah, I agree. Guys, thank you very much for being part of this. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with head cross country and track coach Jerry Monner.